Hi everyone, it's Marcie Bessaker and I am live. It's Tuesday at 2 o'clock and it looks like I need to make a quick adjustment here, so give me 1 second. I have forgot to upload my correct picture. So give me 1 second. Let me switch over here so you know I'm here. Hello, hello. So I just had a service person here and they were working on my windows. We had some windows replaced and he was supposed to be here a lot earlier and he said, oh, I'll be gone by such and such a time. So he just left and I'm noticing my picture is not uploaded, so I'm doing that really quickly to get it uploaded correctly so you can see what we're working on. So give me 2 seconds. And then of course Facebook has to go and change their format right before I signed on. So now I'm like, okay. I'm trying to open my picture to save it and it keeps saying dropped picture. So give me a second. Let me get this figured out really quick and then we'll get started. We have a really fun card today and it is going to be some layering, some coloring, but I did some coloring ahead of time, so I'm just going to show you some little tips that I did do and then we will get started. And I've already die cut it out and everything, so it won't take very long. So I am so sorry about this quick little upload of the picture so you get the right picture, but I have to upload it to my computer. But I didn't want to start late. I wanted to get on here for you. So here we go. Now it is going to be there. I am so sorry. All right, now I think we're ready to go. Let me open up my other program. I think I needed to take computer programming for this because it's just crazy. And now we know my volume is working, so let me turn that off. All right. Hello, hello. Hi, Betty, Steph, Sharon, Tashana. Oh, very nice, very nice. Sorry for the slow start, you guys. My service guy just left, but we've got our new windows and we are good to go. Hi, Tina. So today we're going to get right into it and I'll talk about business stuff later. You guys know where to find me at Marcie Bessaker Designs and marciebessaker.com on my blog. So let's get busy. So this is the card we're going to create. And tell me if you have seen this card before. Hi, Barbara. As most of you know, my son, this is an old card. I need to update this one too for you guys, so hold on 1 second. And I'm just going to do it right on screen because it's the program I'm using. And I want you guys to see the card. There you go. See, there's so much behind the screens to do. All right, so if you guys look, if you need to go early, I'm going to let you know. Oh, Stephanie, you're so silly. This card is actually on page 64 in the big catalog. And you guys know my son's coming tomorrow, so this week is crazy busy. I've been trying to get some cards pre-made and ready to go for some classes, and I've got 2 more already done, prepared to go. So I've been doing that so I can have some product to show you and current updated product and no repeats and no recorded videos. So been a little busy, and so what I did is I saw this card and I've been really wanting to make it since this came out. We were able to purchase all of this early before our catalog came out. And I've been wanting to make this card and I thought, you know what, this is the perfect time. And Tashana, exactly correct. You never even noticed the card. This was my point on doing this card today, is don't forget to look through the catalog. So I'm going to pull that out really quick for you. Actually, even better, I'm going to show you. Here are some pages that we have, some samples. And there are so many examples that they give us to use this whole suite. And of course, look how beautiful they stage it. So there's so many things you can do with this suite. At first, I thought, oh, it's really frilly. There's a lot of frills to this. And there is, but you don't have to use it all at one time. That's what makes this set so unique and so wonderful. And if you're wondering how they got this thanks over here, probably so perfect, it's the Stamparatus, I'm sure, because I've used that technique before and it's great. So you can see the frilly dies. They're super frilly and really nice, but if you use one at a time, it is a perfect set of dies. And look at that cute gift bag. All right, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about when you look at these dies. So if you look at this, this is the Ornate layers. And again, I'm going to have the supplies listed on my YouTube, but also on my blog with some more details. I also have my fan on, and I even have it up one more notch because it's pretty warm today. The smoke is clearing too, just so you know. It's actually going to clear up, I think. And I'm excited because my son's coming in and he won't be all smoky. All right, so here are these dies, and there are just so many of them that you're thinking, ooh, that is a lot of fluff on a card. But if you look, we used one here on the gold, and we're going to use one on the vellum. And so it just, and then this one in the back, they kept solid. So it's just not overwhelming, right? So that's the one Ornate die set. You know, let me pull the other one out because I didn't think about it. But I want to show you as soon as I can find it really quick. I have to say, I do not keep my... All right, I'm just going to show you what I'm trying to look at because I do not keep these in alphabetical order because I pull so many in and out, but I'm going to show you my storage while I'm finding these really quick. As I pull them out and use them, I put the most used ones or the most currently used ones in the front. And so I am trying to find these just so I can show them to you just in case you don't have them. Because I don't have the name right off the top of my head because I didn't use them on this set. I think it's the Ornate, I'm sure it's Ornate something, but I can't find them. So here they are, Ornate border. So these are gorgeous for a border of a card or to add accent like these down here. I think they used them on these, no, on these. See how pretty the borders are around the outsides of the sentiments, the edges of the cards. So they used the borders on this set. And so that is another great way to just add a little bit with a die, which makes it so much easier. All right. So back to this. So this is the one set of dies. This is the whole suite. You get this. You get this beautiful embossing folder here that we're going to use. And then you have the two stamp sets, the Ornate Style and the Ornate Thanks, and we're going to use both of these. And then we also have, you can tell I've used a lot of this paper already, but this is the paper that comes with it. The paper's gorgeous. Now this is, you know, obviously some stuff I've worked with already, but there's so many really pretty papers in here to use, and just foils. Look at that. So one side's foil, one side looks like it's more floral, and then here's all my little pieces I've used. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. So let's just get busy. We have a lot to do. All right, So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you how I did the coloring, because a lot of people ask me about coloring and what I recommend. So the first thing I'm going to say is I always bring in a pad of some kind, because I'm going to be using alcohol markers and I want them to have something to absorb through, just in case I do too much on the paper. I don't want them to leak all over my desk. The next thing is I love to use the shimmer white paper. So it's the shimmer, because like I've said before, it has like a coating on it. So this is what I do. I'm going to take this stamp. I embossed it. And so it's not a secret, but a lot of people don't know how to do it. I'm just going to use a block and show you, because I've got the project done, but I want to show you these quick tips. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually using my Stamparatus. So think about the technique you're doing, like I just didn't do, and then realize what's going to work best for you. So I am going to, it's red rubber, so I can take this out. I am going to put this in here. I'm going to put my stamp right on top. And you can, you know, if you want to use your paper, make sure you just kind of angle it where you want it to take up your whole area. This is actually fussy cut. It is not die cut. So I'm going to do it like this, so I have the most room that I need here for it. I'm going to line it up on that line. Don't forget, take your magnet. I want black, but I don't want black embossing powder, because it just is messier than clear. And I've told you this before, is I like to, I'm still going to use my embossing buddy, but I like to stamp it in black. So I'm going to put a stamp pad over here. It's like the perfect height to be able to, I like to roll my stamp, my pad all over to make sure it's on there. And then I'm going to stamp my image. My Stampin' Buddy all over me now. Stamp the image. All right, make sure you got a good image, and I did. Now, take your chamois and just clean it off. You don't need the black anymore on there. Okay, and then I just like to take a towel. I want to make sure it's kind of dry. Then I'm going to take Versamark. And I'm trying to find my clear embossing powder, which I have in a container. All right, and then you're going to take a Versamark. So you know when you use black embossing powder, you get black speckles all over the place, right? And the Embossing Buddy helps, but it's not 100%. So this is a great way. Now I'm doing Versamark. Okay, so this is a great way to take this. I'm taking my clear embossing powder. Make sure you get it all over your card really well, and I can see already that it's on there. Tap it off, and now we'll show you after we heat it up. This will just take a quick sec. Let's try not to pour the embossing powder all over like I did last time, right? All right. I'm just going to kind of move it all over. It's still finishing heating up, and now it's going to start If you're watching, you can see it turn. I do it from the bottom just because I don't like to have all the powder blowing. I wear contact lenses, so it just seems like... Hi, Jennifer. You're fine. We're just starting. I like to use clear, and I like to emboss from underneath. I don't like to blow the powder all over, and I also like to not get the powder blowing everywhere because I wear contacts, and it just seems like whenever I emboss, my eyes are just killing me at the end of the day. Oh gosh, Michelle. I hope you're all right. Take it easy, get some rest. All right, so we're going to clean that up. This is no time to be going to the hospital, so take care of yourself. All right, I'm just going to leave that in here. So there we go. That's how I do. So now you can look, and there's no black specks all over, but I still have the black embossed look. And so I really like doing it this way. I do use black. I'm not going to say I don't. But I can tell you that when you use alcohol markers on black embossed ink, you're going to get, it's going to pick up the black and it's going to run it. It's just the way it is. So you can do it, but you've got to be super careful about going in the lines and not going over the line so much, because it will start to, the alcohol will start to kind of not melt, but you know, move the emboss. Okay, so we're not going to color because you guys know what coloring is, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, but I will tell you what colors I used. So on this card we have our image plus the 3 little flowers. So I have the little flowers. I'm going to set this aside. This is, of course, is going in the inside of my envelope. So there's our little flowers there. There should be 3. Here we go. And that's going to be this little flower here. Okay, so we used this and this for this card. All right. So I used the Mossy Meadow. I used the dark to go along the veins of the leaves. And then I skipped the light Mossy Meadow. I did not use that. No problem, Carol. Thanks for joining. Then I took the dark Old Olive and I just kind of blended the dark Mossy Meadow. And then the tips, I did the light, and let me show you how I did that. So I'm going to do the dark, and I just kind of go along the veins, and I kind of shadow in just the bottom a little bit. Then I took the dark Old Olive, and I just kind of go over it a little, just so you don't have harsh lines. And then I took the light Old Olive and I started from the tip and worked my way in. And then I went back and forth a little bit. I just wanted lighter ends. And then just start blending. So I do the outside just because I want the outside lighter. And then I start to come in and blend a little bit more with the light. All right, so that's how I did the leaves. And then the flowers, I did the daisy type flowers here. What I did is I took light Poppy Parade. So I did the light Poppy Parade, and I just kind of, I used the brush, and I kind of just did around close to the flower on all the leaves, and just kind of gave it a little depth in the center like that. Okay. Then I took the darker coral, Calypso Coral, and I did the lines where they give you the line colors. Okay, we're not going to color the whole thing. I just kind of want to give you an idea what I did. Then I kind of just blended down a little bit into the Poppy Parade. Not a lot, because that's a lot of dark. But I kind of wanted to blend that a bit. And then again, I took the light Calypso Coral. I start from the ends and I come in, and then I just kind of blend it. So I come from the outside in and do some blending. I'm doing this really quickly, but you'll see when you take your time and you do it, it comes out. And then it lightens up. Look how much it lightens up. So it will lighten up. So I'm just kind of doing this sloppily, but that's my new word, sloppily. All right, so that kind of gives you an idea what I did there. It looks like I put used another color, a Petal Pink. I mainly used just the light one, and I just kind of squiggled around, and I left a lot of it white. Just kind of squiggle it around to just kind of fill in your color. And then I took the dark daffodil and I took the small, and I colored in all of the flowers except this big one here that I did in yellow. I took the Poppy Parade and I filled that one in with the Poppy Parade in the middle, and then I did that one in the yellow. So this one and this one I did yellow. You can't see it because it's under here. So these two. All right, so that's kind of how my coloring went. You can tell on here I did the light and then I went in with the dark just a little bit around the circle on the pale pink, petal pink. So there you go with the coloring. That's kind of how I did that. So we'll set that aside. That'll end up being another card. All right. So we're going to bring our card in now. I did a lot of the stuff already. I'm just going to kind of show you what I did to put it together. When I cut this piece, so your DSP, which this will be on the blog, is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, so this is the one I chose. It looks like that's the one that they used. So just kind of, it's really in the background. You're really not going to see, you know, what you want, but you do see this strip, and I'm just going to use this side. But as I was cutting this down, because remember in my box, I cut down my DSP to 4 by 6. So as I'm trimming to get this size here, I also made sure I trimmed a piece down that is 4 inches, except this one's not 4 inches, so I think I grabbed the wrong one. You want to cut it down 4 inches to go across the bottom of your card on the inside. So let me cut my piece really quick because I grabbed the wrong one. And this one is 4. And then you, of course, for the bottom of your card, you can do a 1/2 inch, a 3/4 of an inch, whatever you want. And so I tend to not, of course, go over 2 inches because your card is going to be 6 inches long if you're doing a 4-inch insert. So, oh look, I grabbed the wrong one again. You think I'm having company tomorrow and I've got a busy day. All right, now let's just go ahead and add our adhesive on here. I'm really starting to like this Stampin' Seal, you guys. It works so good. All right, add that on the bottom. This will be the inside of your card. Now, another thing you could do with this is you could brayer this and, you know, pop it with maybe the coral or a different color just to add some color. But because we kept it here like that, that's what I wanted to do on the inside. So we're going to put that in, but don't put it in yet. So we're going to set these to the side because we're going to do our embossing folder. So you can tell that this is the back panel is actually the card. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open the card. We're going to put our panel inside. I want to make sure that it goes all the way to the edge. I don't want the edge, I don't want there to be a space there without any embossing on it. So make sure it's how you want it. And yes, it's going to go in like this. Always, it's best to put your embossing folder with the closed edge first, but you can't do that on this card unless you choose to add another panel to the top of the card. So I didn't have a problem doing this with my embossing folder. It's Calypso Coral. The card base is Calypso Coral. And of course it's the regular A2 size is what I use. All right. So it just I love texture and stuff on a card. That's what really caught my eye on this card, is there's a lot of layers. And of course I wanted to do more with it, but I'm like, I'm going to try and keep it as true. Now I did add the gilded gems on there. But there's a little pop on here that it took me a little bit to see, and I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so we're going to take our panel. That's our next thing. This is glued straight down, so I'm going to use liquid because this has embossing powder again, embossing on it. So I really want to make sure I'm a little more generous with the glue because I want it to adhere onto this embossed piece. Although we're going to be sticking a lot more on it. And that's just in the center. All right, again, 3.5 by 4 3/4, but it'll all be on my blog. And now the next piece, and I pre-cut these, but I'm going to show you what I used. So here, we used this die right here. So it's got the little circles on it, and that's what we used on the gold foil. All right, so we're going to use that, and it is popped up. Now, of course, I'm looking at the book, and I don't know if it's popped up. I didn't look that close, but I like popping things up. As long as I can get it in an envelope, I'm going to pop it up. These came from a paper pumpkin, I think, so I'm going to use these up. It's a long piece, so I tend to like to put a little more in the middle, and then I'm going to put some at the end. And because we're layering so many things up in the middle, I want to make sure that it doesn't cave in by adding so many things. I adjusted my camera a little bit today too, you guys. I'm hoping my head doesn't get in the way. That is so frustrating. And you guys are so nice. You're not like, your head's in the way. But I can see it once I look back up because I'm behind a little bit when I look at my screen to read your comments. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, how long have I been going with my head in the screen? So I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and I'm just going to center it. And be careful. See right there, it's my nail. You want to be careful because it will indent anywhere. So just be really careful on how you do that. Then I took a piece of vellum, and it looks like they have it right in the middle. And because I'm layering more up on top of it, I don't mind that I'm going to just put it in the middle here because there's a lot's going to go on here. But I think I'm going to turn it because I want it more on the right side. So because you are going to see a little over here. So that's vellum. And the die we used here is the one right inside. It's the next one. So it's this one. All right, I mean, look how cute this is for a sentiment. If you were going to use a big sentiment from this set, it's absolutely perfect. Of course, your card's going to go horizontal, but I mean, it's such a gorgeous piece. And then you could do layering, do your sentiment inside here, like this would be. And I didn't use the die for this, I just cut it. but maybe we'll use the die because I made several of them. And so I think that's what we'll do. But anyway, then you can layer it up, do your sentiment on white or whatever, and do a different color behind. These are so great for sentiments. And while we have this out, let's just go ahead and do our sentiment. So our sentiment we did on mint macaron and white embossing powder. So of course you use your Versamark. And I'm going to see if that will fit perfectly while I had my piece of paper cut already, and it seems to be fine. So I'm going to use that. Oh, sorry, my daughter's calling me. It's funny, my son called the other day and now my daughter's calling, and both of them are like, oh, I couldn't remember what time your video is. My granddaughter is going to start kindergarten, so we will be going to see them. So in September there will be, oh, she just texted me, said, oh yeah, your video. I will be leaving a Sunday and a Tuesday. I probably will not be doing a video because I'll be out of the state. So I've got to be there for her first day of kindergarten. So we're going to go do that. All right. And now look, it added this really cute border. It's a stitched. So not only is it a cutout, but that just adds a little more to it. So I'm happy we did that. Yay. All right. I've had this set and I've used a lot of this, but I've been really wanting to do this set. Now see, I wanted to add some thread and do some different things, and then I was like, nope, I'm going to leave it. But I did pop this up again. And so I took a little one and I put up on this little leaf that's kind of hanging out. And then I went back and I just stuck them where the flowers are. Trying to use up these things. All right. So my point when I was thinking of doing this video is there is so much the catalog has to offer. A lot of people throw away their catalogs when they expire, and I don't. I keep them for a long time. If it still has current stamp sets in it, I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to use it. I'm pulling off these, sorry, I'm trying to make a pile over here. I use it to just look back, and it may not be the exact stamp set you have, but you could use the color scheme, or you could use the template as a layout on how you want to do something. Because if you layer like this, you do one of this size and you do this and you do this, you can put anything right here. You can put, you know, use a different designer paper and different embossing folder, but you could use the pet set, or, you know, put the little dog on there. There's so much you can do. All right, so I'm going to put it over to here because we want this pretty scallop to show. So I'm just going to add that on there. Now, this is the fun part, is when I was looking at the card, I noticed that there was 2 of these little flowers. So I was like, oh, okay. So I put one right here where they showed it. And then I put another one up here where they showed. Kind of off, but like that. And then I couldn't find the other one. And then I looked close, and they put it right here, and it's just overlapping the sentiment a little bit. So I did not pop the sentiment up, except over here I put 2 of them. Okay, so 2 on top of each other. See if I can take this off. All right, 2 on top of each other, and then I added some glue right here. And you just kind of decide where you want it to go. I really liked this color popping up. And we have a pretty big yellow down here. So I chose, and it looks kind of like that's what they did. And they went pretty much to the left. And so I just am going to lay it right there. All right, so because you have this popped up and this popped up, you want to put two right here. So this lays flat. If you did one, your sentiment's going to be, you know, kind of like this on your card, and you don't want that. You want it to be as flat as you can. All right, so then we're going to take this little guy and we're going to pop it up right over here. Just get your flower up there a little bit so you can see it. Like I said, on the other one, I was like, where's the other one? And then I noticed it, and I was like, oh. All right, now, of course, one of my favorite, look, I already used all those. My gems here, the gilded gems, you guys, are just fantastic. I love them for so much. All right, we're going to put that there. I like to put the large one, and then I'm going to put the medium up here, and then I like to put a little one. So I like the large and a little. I just like the way that looks better. It's just better balanced. If you put a large and a medium and then you're putting a tiny one up here, the large one's already going to pull your eye over here. And so I like to put a medium up here because your eye is going to be pulled. I don't think they had them in the catalog, but they go with a suite. I mean, you've got to have those, right? So that is our card. And so there we go. Let me make sure my light's on here, okay? So one set of gems down. And trust me, I have more to pull out because I am going to be doing some more of those. I hope you guys liked this. It's really a simple card if you look at the catalog and just kind of see what they did and just dissect it. I mean, like when you get a card from somebody, you're like, ooh, ah, look what they did, look what they did. And you're like, oh, they must have used blends, you know, or did they use pencils? They could have used pencils. But just kind of look at it, decide. I don't even know if they embossed, but with white, I like to emboss. And I like to emboss if I'm coloring a lot. And with all the gold, I just didn't want to do a flat flower image because with a lot of gold, you just see that. And this here looks embossed. And I think if I would have done the flowers just on a flat, even if it was on shimmer, I just think the emboss just makes it look that much more finished, I think, in with the other two items here. So I can't take credit for this one, but I really, really liked the card. So I decided that I just wanted to create that and show you guys and kind of tell you, don't forget to look in the catalog. If you forget to look in the catalog, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff. I have another card that I'm creating as thank you notes for my customers because I love the card. And I'll show that to you after I send those out. But these are October thank you cards because it's fall theme. There's your hint. Oh, Jennifer, you're gonna love it. There's a lot to do with it. Like I said, at first I was like, oh, that's a lot of fluff. But really, when you're just using one or two of the elements or one or two of the dies, it really makes the card stand out that much more, I think. So again, here's a couple of the other cards. Now this is the one on the right. I'm trying to look and I can't tell if that's embossed, but it probably is. White takes a longer time, I should say, to dry. Oh, Carol, I'm glad you made it. It'll be on. You can watch it on the repeat. Again, the So Grateful. Use the Stamparatus. You can do your sentiments down the side like that. Kind of like I did with this. When I just decided to make a bunch of them because I'm going to make more of these. And I just really liked the card and thought it was pretty. I think I might change up the color and try something else. But I hope you like that. Again, you guys, I want to share my information with you. I really do appreciate when you guys shop with me. I Love to send thank you cards to you. I've got some really cute, fun ones coming up. And you will always get a thank you from me when you shop with me. Here is my current code. Of course, if you go to my blog, on the right side, it says shop my online store at the top right hand side, and my current hostess code is always listed below it. And you can use that code when you purchase. Of course, if it's over $150, do not use my code. If it's $150 or more, it's automatically a party for you and you will get the benefits, and you don't need a code. It will just automatically give you the benefits for your party. I am on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock and Sundays at noon, right here on YouTube. Sometimes I do go live on my Facebook page, and I try to put reminders and post other things on my business Facebook page. So if you go to Marcie Bessaker Designs, that is where you'll want to go and like the page, and you'll get notified when I post on there. I do have classes. If there's ever a class you guys see that you're interested in, just let me know. If it is a class I'm having here in town, if it's something you're going to buy the stamp set and everything for, I will mail you the kits. So if you buy the stamp set from me and the bundle from me, whatever we're using, I will mail you the kits that I'm handing out in class. And again, if you could subscribe on my YouTube, and if you ring the bell there after you subscribe, it will give you notification when I am going live. If you are watching and you're not sure how to comment, I have had people message me and ask me. You just have to be signed into your Gmail account, your Google account, your YouTube account. Sign in there, and then you can comment. So on your Google account. And then I'd love to have you comment and visit with us as I'm crafting. And of course, by liking and sharing, that really does help my page. I do appreciate that so much. I feel like that was such a short video, you guys. I got it done in such a short time, but I didn't want you to see me color, and I kind of just wanted to give you some ideas of what colors I used, and I just kind of went with the colors I thought that were in the DSP, and so that's one of the things to do. If you see a card that was made in the catalog and you're not sure what to use, if there's DSP in the card, go look at those colors, and then that's going to be the greens or the yellows or whatever that they probably used, is to choose colors off of the designer series paper. All right, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to let you go. I have my son flying in tomorrow, my daughter-in-law, and my grandson. My grandson's 2. We have a pack and play, a high chair, and a baby gate. We're ready. All of our grandkids live out of state, so he is going to be 2 next month. So we're going to be taking some family pictures and having a good time. Hopefully, seems like the smoke is clearing up, so the pictures will be a little clearer than I was thinking they were going to be. And we will be having a good time. But I will be back on Sunday with a great project. So I hope to see you then. I'll be on at noon. Thank you, Barbara. You guys have a great and safe rest of your week, and I will see you Sunday. Have a good day.